What's up? Welcome to this edition of Sports Talk with Rod. This is Life in Victoria, First Year East, Part 3. Okay, so the last time we left off, I was just telling y'all that we made it to the third round and we was going to play Lake Travis at the Alamo Dome, and how my coach had predicted this after our second scrimmage before the season started. So, fast forward. I got hurt in the second round game, first quarter, after scoring 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Still tough to live down. But anyways, team was able to pull it out, won 54-40. So, I start my I can say, is it called rehab? Anyways, I start my, trying to get back healthy and stuff, right? So, I remember one of the first days back at school, I go to the trainer's office, and I think no, it wasn't Thanksgiving break yet. I can't remember. Anyways, so I go back, go in the trainer's office or whatever, and I'm doing the stem treatment. I think that's what you call it, where they put that little electric thing on you, and it basically stimulates your muscles and stuff like that or whatever. So I put that on my ankle. Remember, my ankle was like this swole around, no exaggeration. So I'm doing that treatment and stuff, and I'm doing, little movements. They tell me to do my, ABCs with my ankle movement and stuff like that. So I got to do A, B, C, and so forth. So I'm doing all that or whatever. I'm not doing no practicing, anything like that. It's all based around my ankle getting better. And I remember one of the days they told me to put my foot in a bucket, right? So, this is not my first time getting iced or whatever. So they bring me out a bucket. The bucket's probably like that big, filled up with ice. So usually when this happens, we have like water with some ice dumped in there. So they brought me the bucket, and they was like, all right, put your foot in there. I said, well, where the water at? I'm talking about this bucket is jam-packed with ice, top to bottom. I said, where the water at? He was like, oh, no, you need no water. Put your ankle in there. I said, I'm not putting my ankle in there. Keep in mind, I love football and I want to play whatever, but this just seemed like a little, a little drastic or whatever. And they was like, they kept telling me, put your ankle in there, put your ankle in there. The trainer was telling me to do it. I'm like, I'm not going for that shit. And then, I don't know, I guess it started circulating around the locker room and stuff that I wasn't cooperating. Then the coach came in there, Warren, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm not putting my foot in there or whatever. There's no water in there. Like, for one, I don't even know how I could even push my foot down in there. Like y'all tripping. So he told me, he said, stop being a pussy or whatever. He said, stop playing with me. Next thing you know, I think it was Colton Teagler or fucking powerlifting champion. He walked by, and somebody else did. I forgot who it was. And I can't remember if coach told them to do this or they just, figured that they needed to take it upon themselves. Next thing I know, like, they grabbed me. I'm already sitting down. They grabbed me. I think it was like 2 people grabbed me up here, and then somebody like grabbed my leg type shit, and then started like trying to put my stuff in there. And keep in mind, I can't really, move or whatever. And we all on the team is end of the season, so everybody on them weights and stuff, they strong and shit. So my foot ended up being in there. So that was that. I did that like every day. Keep in mind, we had like another week until we played. So here's where stuff got progressively weird, right? Because I think this was like maybe a week before Thanksgiving break, and that was one thing that they was driving home. It's like, hey, I know y'all want to be playing on Thanksgiving break or all this other stuff, blah blah blah, because you're getting closer to going to state. I said, yeah. And then so it was, keep in mind, I say that to say this too. It was cold, so this was mid-November. Um, Another person that got hurt was our linebacker Austin Bivens, or whatever. Shout out to Austin Bivens. We was real tight. He was a tight end and a linebacker. He got hurt in the game too. He separated his shoulder, I think, or something like that. So I think this was still on the weekend. I think this was like a Sunday or something, right? They told us to go to the coach's house. I'm like, why are we coming over here to the coach's house? Like, we could go up to the school. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking we gonna go inside. We walk around to the back, and then, oh yeah, Coach Palmer, I think he either met us over there or he brought me over there. Like I said, me and Coach Palmer like this, still like this. And then, so we walking around back. They told us, I think they told us to bring some shorts and some other change of clothes or something. I can't remember exactly what they said. Like I said, this was like, what is 14 years ago now? So we walk around back and was like, what the hell going on? It was like, all right, take off your pants or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Y'all got to get in the pool. I said, get in the pool? I said, hell no. I think it was like 40 something, 50 degrees max. I said, y'all want us to get in the pool to do what? He was like, oh, you need to get some mobility and all this other stuff. I said, anyways, I couldn't do too much arguing. I can't do nothing. I am trying to play though. So we get in the pool. When I say, I already don't like getting in the pool like that or whatever. It got to be super hot for me to want to get in the pool. Like, it got to be like maybe 90, 92 for me to want to get in the pool. And say if I'm hot and I'm thinking about, oh, I'm gonna get in the pool by the time I get home or something like that. If I cool off by the time I get home and change or whatever, I don't want to get in the pool. I got to be like, still got to be hot. So get in the pool, we doing all these movements and stuff like that, and me and Austin in there, it was like, dog, this some bullshit. But we love football and we want to get back out there. What makes it even worse is the patio is like this, right? You can it's glass or whatever. Our coach was coming to the patio window, looking out there. I guess he had his grandbaby in his arm. I guess he was like, I think it was like a few months old. He holding him and like looking and pointing and shit. I was like, what is going on? So I forgot how long we was out there. I think that was the only day we did that. So the next week, the week started or whatever, and we doing practice or whatever. They tell me, you're not practicing or whatever, just come over here and, and work out, try to get your ankle right. So, I'm trying to jog or whatever. Like, it hurts to even, like, walk. And then, so I'm like, man, I said, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dog, this not really looking good. And I'm seeing the team practice and stuff like that. I was like, dang, I want to be out there. And, occasionally they'll look down at me. It was like, oh, get better, Rob, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm trying. A few days going with that, and then my mama going to work and stuff, and they asking her, oh, is Roger gonna be able to play? Is Roger gonna be able to play? And then I think she was telling them, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, blah blah blah. And so all week that's going on. I could barely even like, I don't know, like that was a hard thing to go through or whatever, because I worked all that time I started playing football in 7th grade, didn't have much success at the previous high school I was at, Victoria Memorial, and then I finally get to my senior year, and we have a great team, and I get hurt in the playoffs or whatever. Like, it was a lot to deal with. But I was still motivated and determined. So with that being said, I'm looking at different things. What's up, Coach Williams? So I'm looking at different things. What's what people are saying about our chances of winning and things like that. And then I remember one of the last things I saw was, I think they said, I think we had like a 20-something% chance of beating Lake Travis or whatever. keep in mind, Lake Travis, that was going to be, they won state 3 years in a row at that point in time. And, you know, most people was like, oh, you know what Lake Travis is, blah, blah, blah. It should be a cakewalk. And we really don't know much about this Victoria team besides, you know, they came from Victoria Memorial. They're really fast and athletic, blah, 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 but, you know, unproven and all this other stuff, right? Which I didn't care about all that, but, you know, I got time to look at stuff just to see how people are feeling about it. So I remember, when was that? So game day finally comes, and you know they wrap up my ankle and stuff like that. I don't even think I even did like, you know, walkthroughs and things like that. We at the Alamo Dome, and I think one of the coaches came to me and it was like, you gonna be able to go? And I was on the training table and I was like, I shook my head, and then so he was like, you know, all right, because you know it's business, you gotta keep going. So everybody already out there. I'm the last one to go out there. So I remember I'm like jogging out the tunnel, and this reminded me of this old I seen this old NBA game. This dude was supposed to have been hurt. I don't know if it was the finals or what. I think there was the Knicks playing, and then out of nowhere, like right before the game, the player came, you know, jogging out or whatever, and the crowd, you know, got crazy or whatever, because they was surprised that he was coming out there. So, if my memory serves me correct, when I came jogging out the tunnel, keep in mind I'm the last one. I hear, seems like I heard my sideline or whatever, like, you know, start clapping louder and stuff like that. Like I was about to come out there and play. And then I kind of like shook my head as I was running out or whatever. And I got over there and it was like, oh, you playing? Oh, you good? And I remember looking up there, and keep in mind, I'm always the one that kept, you know, the team, you know, up in spirits and stuff like that and hype or whatever. And then I remember I just looked up at them and I was like, and then, so they kind of like, and this Lake Travis, like, we needed all the help imaginable so we could have no pieces missing or whatever. So, but you know, I'm still hopeful. So, I think I did go out there for walkthroughs a little bit because this is another detail that I wanted people to know about Lake Travis. So, when you're out there before the game, you know, some people are yelling and hype or whatever, you know, or just talking, doing their little walkthroughs and stuff. I remember them being so quiet. It was like almost militant. Like if you didn't look to the other side of the field, you would think that there was nobody out there. I guess that's just how disciplined they were and poised and stuff like that. And I remember seeing this one lineman. This one lineman was humongous. Like he looked like he was in the NFL already. Like I remember they jerseys was black and red, so I remember he looked like a damn left tackle for Texas Tech. Like he was humongous. Anyways, fast forward, the game start, right? We get the ball first. They kicked the ball. They did like a little short, little pooch kick, and it goes. So the kick returner was Brandon Salazar. He was in the back, and then right before him, my brother was back there, right? So the ball went in between them. So the ball bounced behind my brother in front of Brandon. It bounced up high in the air, and the next thing you know, Lake Travis ran down there. They recovered the ball. First kickoff. I was like, no, this is not the start we need. So they get the ball. I think we kind of hold them. They really don't get much yards or whatever. I think they get like they end up getting in like a third and long. And the quarterback for them was something Brewer. He was number 12. I think he ended up going to Texas Tech, and then he transferred to Virginia Tech where he actually played and did decent. And then Gilbert, this big wide receiver, number 27, big old white boy. I think he was like 6'4" or whatever. And he was wide receiver. He was a brother of a good big time recruit that came out of Lake Travis as well too. He started off their little championship run. He went to Texas. Matter of fact, I was just watching them play again, the highlights from when Colt McCoy got hurt in the championship game when they played Alabama. He had came in or whatever, and he ended up transferring to SMU and stuff like that. But anyways, his brother was playing wide receiver. They was like the two best players. So we forced them to like a 3rd and long or 4th and long. I think it was probably like 4th and 15 or 20 or something. I don't know. From like our 35 yard line, I think. And then so I remember they did a play. It was McClure and Gilbert on our sideline, their far sideline, right? So I remember the quarterback came back, threw like a little fade route to that quarterback, and Josh, he was like our best corner. He was a great corner, great wide receiver. So I'm saying, oh, okay, Josh can make a play. And I said that white boy went up, mossed him, came down. The crowd got so hype or whatever, and like that, they had the momentum again. And I was like, damn. I said, damn, we needed that play. So, but we ended up holding them to a field goal, which was great, right? I said, okay. They kicked the ball off to us again, and I think it was the first or the second play. Jonathan Gardner, the same one who came through the round before, when the only person I told I wasn't gonna be able to play the second half. He got the ball on a little ISO play, and he got around the corner and took off 75 yards. I think it was like first or second play. And I remember looking up, our crowd go crazy. I remember looking up, I said, God, please, if you let us get past this round, I said, I won't ask you for nothing. Because I felt with how my ankle was, I felt if I had another week, I would be decent. So I was like, okay, we in the game. So we actually was winning 7-3 early in that game. Next thing you know, they get the ball back on offense, and I'm not sure which possession this was, but I remember the coach put in this crazy defense. I think it was called Magic or some shit like that. And I remember it was a whole bunch of the linebackers and stuff. They was crowded around the line of scrimmage, like jumping around and shit, I guess trying to disguise where they was blitzing. Which when I saw it, I was like, we never played this defense before. We have pretty good defenders and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I was kind of on the fence about it. So one of the first couple possessions they got, this freshman named Andrew Adami, real good little linebacker or whatever. I remember he came through one play and hit that quarterback, put him on his ass or whatever, right? And then I was like, okay, you know, it's an incomplete. Then I remember the quarterback looked at the referee like what the fuck? I don't know if he thought he got late hit or hit too hard or whatever. I don't know. But I remember he was getting up and he was like, okay. When I say he started dropping dimes. And some of the passes he was making was so easy because they had like a spread offense. They had, you know, they linemen. I think the quarterback, I think it was in a pistol formation. So the quarterback, so instead of the running back being on side of him, he was like behind him or whatever. Then they had 2 receivers out here and 2 receivers out here. So a lot of their completions came as like you know, little bubble screens and stuff, because everybody, our linebackers and stuff, are jam-packed at the line of scrimmage. So it was like easy reads or whatever. So before you know it, we getting our ass busted. So I think at halftime we was like, I think we was down like 21 or 28 already. So it wasn't too. It was getting real ugly real fast, and it was reminding me of um, in one of my other in the previous parts. I was telling y'all when I was riding up there to San Antonio to go watch my cousin play because they made it to the third round, and they ran into Judson in 2002, and Judson ended up winning state or whatever, and they beat the hell out of them like 58 to like 20 or something. I don't know, crazy score, right? So I was getting flashes of that. I was like, oh damn, it's like history is repeating itself. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, for I guess I don't know how good that Victoria team was, but you know they're making it to the third round. And I was like, what's the odds of us both making it to this third round and us playing another team that's gonna win state again? Like what the fuck? And then so halftime we go in, and I remember I took this B12 stuff, whatever this shit is, was gonna try to help me play or something like that. I don't know what the hell it is. If they would have gave me anything, I would have took it or whatever. And then go back out there, and then I remember I was on the sideline, and then I don't know if I asked the coach or the coach asked me, but he was like, "Tell me you wanna." He was like, "You wanna give it a go?" I said, "Yeah." I said, I didn't say this, but I was thinking this. I was like, "Yeah, I gotta give it a shot." I said, "I'm not gonna not play in my last high school football game." And then so I remember I went out there, and then I think Yates had looked at me. He was like, "Okay, Rod, okay." I said, "Come on." And then the first play they did was a option, which was our bread and butter. So keep in mind, I'm looking from the sideline the whole game, so I'm seeing what's going on. Oh, and back to that kick return. This is the only time I ever got upset with Coach Parma. So when we was playing this team named Beeville, they kept doing this like that same little kick, right? And I'm like the second to the last defender. I mean to the last returner. So I told, which his name was Kalinowski, I told him, "Hey, scoot up because you know they gonna do that push kick." He was like, "Oh no, I got it." So they did the kick the first time or whatever. And that's why I told him the second time. Second time I was like, "Hey, scoot up, blah blah blah." He was like, "No, I got it." So I backed up, you know, like 2 steps, and I caught it. Fair caught it, right? Then the coach told me, "Don't do that or whatever. Let him return it or whatever, blah blah blah." I said, I'm telling him to scoot up. So if he's not listening, I said, I'm not gonna let it go over my head and hit, and then they fuck around and get the ball back. Fast forward to after my brother got to that sideline, after they recovered that first kick, he like charged my brother. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you step back for the ball?" Whatever, blah blah blah, that shit. I was like a foot and a half behind Coach Palmer. In my mind, I grabbed him in back of his shirt and said, "You do not say that shit to my brother because you was telling me when we was playing Beeville not to do that shit or whatever. So now since some shit fuck up, don't try to blame him." That was in my mind, right? That was like kind of like on some That's So Raven shit when she have a flash and she like see something then she snap back into it. So that's how it was in my mind. So I forgot to cover that. So anyways, we go out there. The play is for me. Basically, we doing an option play. I'm looking at the defense and stuff the whole time. So they playing a cover 3. They have a corner, deep third, other corner, deep third, free safety, inside third, and the outside linebackers, they playing the force flats, right? Basically exactly what the hell they need to play going against our offense or whatever, to run the ball, whatever, to try to take away the pitch or whatever. So I remember I'm back there. I already know I ain't got shit, but I haven't really tried to run full speed in a while. So Irvin, he ran a little bit and pitched the ball to me. I got it. I was like, "Okay, Rob, let's see what we got." So when I got the ball, I'm about to run upfield, and I feel like my ankle is just so weak and wobbly. I like like I kind of ran like 2 more steps or whatever, and they like tackled me. And I remember the only thing I could think when they was tackling me is, please do not twist my ankle, because I know people be playing dirty and stuff or whatever, and they knew I was hurt. So that's what I'm thinking. I watch so many football movies and all this other stuff. Like, I just know how they do. So I don't want to go from bad to worse, because I want to mess up my college career maybe. So I guess after that, the coach, basically saw like, he don't got no burst and stuff or whatever like that or whatever. So, but he didn't take me out, which I appreciate. So I'm basically in the rest of the game pass blocking and stuff. I remember I was blocking somebody and they got past me, and I like clipped them or whatever, and they didn't call it or whatever and all this other stuff. So I remember the coach just wasn't really calling good plays, and somebody, I don't know, and this was like I said, it was like the 3rd time I noticed that in big games he wasn't calling good plays. We was playing Wagner. I remember it was coming down to the last play of the game. I was walking off, and he told the quarterback, OJ, he was like, hey, keep the ball or whatever. And then supposedly, on the last play of the game from like the 20-yard line, supposedly the tight end was wide open. So that wasn't a good call. And then that Kyle Allen game on a 4th and 1, instead of being an I formation QB sneak, we did shotgun, QB draw, whatever. That didn't work out. And then now this game or whatever, with these defensive calls, formations, and on offense not doing nothing or whatever. Something like, so I can't take it no more. This is my last game. I'm not going to go out like this. So I remember looking to the sideline. I told him 95, right? This was a hand signal for a play called 95, which was go routes. We had the best, I feel like we had the best wide receiver and cornerback duo in Texas. And I remember, I think the only person black that they had, which just because you black don't mean that you're going to be good, but I think the only black people that they had on defense was the safety. I think this corner was white or Mexican. The other corner was white or Mexican too. And I just know 9 times out of 10, whoever corners can't guard our receivers anyways. So I told him to do 95, right? So, and he called it. I remember the first time he called it, Yates dropped back, threw the ball like, I want to say like 40 yards. McClure had that corner on him. He caught it with one hand, came down with it, ran for another 10 yards, got tackled or whatever, and then we ended up scoring not too long after that. We get a stop because I think they put they second team and stuff back in. We get another stop, we get the ball back. He called another play, some bullshit, and I did it again. I said 95, 95. And then, he called the play. Next play, Irvin Yates cocked back, threw it like 50-some yards downfield. Martinez, the other wide receiver, came down with it, ran in for a touchdown. Only thing I'm doing, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, say, dog, see, I'm irritated, right? And I'm happy too. So before you know it, they put their first string back in, right? Because we slowly started creeping back up on them. So I think what else happened after that? So after a while, when the writing was on the wall, they came in there and scored a couple more touchdowns. I think we lost like 58 to 27, something like that. And all I could think about was, and it took me everything I had not to put my head down or whatever, because I remember my cousin Brandon, I think I told y'all in the previous episode of this that I saw an old picture of my cousin Brandon. He was playing basketball, and everybody had their head down. I think there was like a game away from state or something like that, and he was the only one with his head up. And then I kept that image in my head because I never wanted to have my head down for other people to see. And then I did not want my face being in the paper with his head down or whatever, because Victoria loved doing that shit. Like, they blow up. They like blowing up our shit so much when we lose shit. Like, that shit is annoying as hell. But, the paper came out anyways, and they had this dude Jeffrey taking off his helmet or whatever, kind of like looking down, like you can tell, like a little defeated look or whatever. I said, dog, I don't like that shit. And then so, you know, I'm trying to stay positive about it. And then I look at the crowd when the time goes out, and then it took me everything I had not to cry. But I was hopeful because, well, I'll say that for in a minute. So we time go out, they sidelines hype or whatever, and then we walk in and we shaking hands and stuff. And then, you know, we was like, oh, good game, good game, good game. And I'm telling somebody on varsity, I said, yeah, go win it, because I know they're going to win fucking state. I'm saying go win it. And then after all the varsity players, you know, they had like the little JV players and stuff, because you can tell it's different uniforms that they had on. I remember this little short little dude. He was like, hey, how was you in practice? Or whatever. And it just made me smile a little bit or whatever, because I know they was really like game planning for us and all this other stuff. So after we shook hands, turn around, look at our sideline, they was clapping for us or whatever, you know, because, you know, we did have a good season. I feel that season really set the tone for the rest of the years at Victoria East. It was a good start of, like, I don't ever remember it being a season or a feeling like that in Victoria in a long time. So it was so many basketball players and other players who used to laugh at the football people or whatever for playing football or whatever, didn't want to do it or whatever because they sucked or whatever and all this other stuff. And I remember basketball players starting to want to play and, you know, other stuff like that. So, you know, it was a real good feeling to be a part of that, a part of history like that, especially in a good way. So, you know, they was clapping for us or whatever. And I remember McClure was one of the first people I saw. I said, hey, good season, man. He was like, good season, boy, good season. And then I remember I saw my brother, and I remember he didn't play a lot all season, but he had like 3 or 4 picks, you know, little cleanup duty when we blowing people out and stuff. And then he made that big play to help even get us over there or whatever. So I'm glad he got some shine or whatever, which we really don't even talk and stuff no more or whatever. But I'm still happy and for him that he got to experience some of that. And so, and every time I tell that story, I make sure I put that part in when he got the interception the game before, because it really helped us or whatever. And I remember I just I grabbed him. He shorted at me. I grabbed him and I hugged him. I said, I love you, boy. I said, good season. He was like, yeah, good season. And then it's crazy how you still think of all these emotions and stuff. It's been like, next year will be 15 years since all this or whatever. And I remember I didn't cry because I just knew that college was going to be, you know, I just knew college was going to be good for me. You know, I knew my football career wasn't over. There's a lot of more good things to go. And so we got on the bus, you know, we hugged the coaches and stuff like that. We got back. And I remember seeing everybody. They were telling us, oh, yeah, make sure y'all throw y'all jerseys in there, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, dang, I want to take this live picture of me, you know, like looking, you know, like me looking at my jersey, but like somebody take it from sitting over there. Like me looking at my jersey like one last time type shit. You know, it would have been a real good picture and, you know, put a little caption on it or whatever, stuff like that. But I remember I didn't even do that because I was ready for the next part. I was ready for college and things like that. So I remember I just put my jersey up, and then I went home that night, and I really don't remember much after that. And the next part y'all would see is, I would talk about is the aftermath of that season and what happens, especially with the college plan. It didn't go as planned. So on the next episode of Sports Talk with Rod. Life at East. First year, it's going to be called The Aftermath. Y'all stay tuned.